Good morning, everyone. How are you? Welcome to Cooking with Nancy O and her husband, Rick, sidekick, whatever you want to call me. We're having a little laugh here because we're laughing about when we do the cooking show, we smell garlic and onions this early in the morning, and sometimes it's a little bit much. But anyway, we have a great treat for you guys today. We have been growing watercress on our tower garden, and I've never eaten watercress. The one thing I like about my tower garden, I'm growing things because it says I can grow it. So I have to grow it to see what happens, but then I have to figure out what to do with it. So that's why we share with you guys what you can do with the veggies we're growing on the tower garden. So today we're doing watercress. You can also grow peppers on the tower garden. Is there anything? I think that's the two items here that we have that can grow on the tower. So our recipe today is a chicken stir fry using the watercress. So I'm going to get Rick cooking in the back stove here because I have a lot to cover and we got to get this chicken cooked up. We're using 2 chicken breasts here and we just sliced it real thin. I had them cut it in a little bit smaller pieces today so they would cook a little faster because sometimes when we're demoing, it takes a little more time. So I'm going to give him 2 chicken breasts to start browning back there in a tablespoon of sunflower oil. And with it, we're going to add onions. We took a red onion and we chunked it up into nice big pieces like stir fry should be. You ready for this one, babe? Okay, and there's his onions. And then we used an orange pepper. You could use a red, a yellow. You could add 2, whatever you want. You know, this is about what you want to add to this. So we have 1 bell pepper, orange one here that we're going to add in, which is going to add wonderful flavor. I love peppers to things like this. Are you ready for this one? I'm handing it a little too fast. And the other thing we're going to add is about 2/3 cup of cashews. It gives it a nice nutty flavor, and we're going to throw these in because we want them to toast up a little bit back there. And while he's doing that, I'm going to talk to you about a sauce we're going to add to it. So the sauce we have is very simple and easy. It seems like a lot of ingredients, but we're using a product called hoisin sauce, which I have personally never used before, but it has all the flavors we need for this. And we're going to add a couple tablespoons of soy sauce to it. We're just going to kind of mix this up. We're going to add some garlic, about 2 cloves. If you want more garlic, add more. If you don't want any garlic, you don't have to add it. But it will add a little bit of flavor. Oh yeah, there we go. I'm used to handing Rick my dirty dishes. So in the recipe, we're going to also use ginger. Now you can use fresh ginger. I happen to have ground ginger on hand, so I'm using ground. And I have about a teaspoon, maybe 1.25 teaspoons in there. And a couple tablespoons, oh no, this is sesame oil. So I already added the soy sauce. And then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of, you can use rice vinegar or wine vinegar, either one. And that's going to make a really nice sauce that we're going to add to this when he's done stir frying. He's making a lot of noise back there. Can you hear that? How's it looking, Rick? Oh my gosh. We have our dinner made already. So I just stirred this sauce all together and we're ready to add that back there. He's going to pour that in and we're going to also add some watercress to it. Now the watercress we're using about, I don't remember, about 3/4 cup of watercress. Wanted to show you, it's just a little bitty, teeny tiny green. I mean, this is how it grows in a vine and we just pick the leaves off. Now, our watercress, we have been sharing, our friend took a big hunk of it home because it has roots growing out in the stems area here. And she literally took that and planted that in a pot. And she has watercress growing at her house, which is so cool. And she didn't want to put it in her tower because it wasn't in the rock wall, so she just planted it. So something I wanted to share about the watercress is you can sprinkle it on your salad or you can cook with it. You can stir it in the soup near the end of cooking. Who would have thought of that? You can use it to replace lettuce on a sandwich. That's a great idea. Or you can turn it into a pesto, which are served with eggs and use it on top of any dish you want. And it's just little bitty tiny leaves here. They're the cutest little leaves, but it is a powerhouse of nutrition, especially vitamin K. It packs like so many important nutrients and extremely low in calories. And that's what we want, is a good, healthy punch to our diet and to make us feel good from the inside out. It contains a plethora of antioxidants. And you know, that's great to help us for heart disease and cancer. So you need those antioxidants going. So you could just stick this in a salad and enjoy it. And it was very, very easy to grow. I can't get over how much we had growing on the tower. And if we pop a picture up of our tower garden, you can see our tower garden is just overwhelmed in produce. And we've been growing that since October. Let me check. I'm going to pause here, check on Rick here. Couple more minutes. Good thing we did that chicken in small pieces. Because we cut the vegetables up big because you want that good crunch with the vegetables. So, okay. Anyway, I'm sitting here reading my notes on the tower garden, and I think I've covered everything. It's hardly one of the most popular vegetables. Its nutrition profile makes it a stellar addition to your diet. So I really like this, that I can grow things like this on my tower and add this great nutrition. Are we almost ready for? Okay, so now he's going to remove that. Do you want to do that over here, Rick?
No, you got it. I got to bring it.
Okay, he is going to add the sauce.
And the water.
Oh, and a splash. It calls for a splash of water. He's going to splash the water first. You're too funny. And we're going to add that sauce you just made, which was very easy to do. And then what does it tell you to do? Bring it to
Stir it till it bubbles and then take it off the fire.
Stir it till it bubbles, and then we're going to take it off the fire. We're going to bring it over here, and he's going to add the watercress to it. And we have a plate of brown rice here. You don't have to put it on rice, but if you are, put it on brown rice because that's better for you, or maybe quinoa. That would be good. Smell good?
Yeah.
Okay, so we were laughing about onions earlier, but now that they're cooking and in this dish, it's much better. But when I was standing over them, it was pretty strong. But what is a great stir fry with a nice big chunk of onion and peppers in it, and the chicken and the garlic? And so this thing is going to be fantastic. I can't wait. So Rick was reading up on watercress. See, I now have him reading. And he said that you can substitute, if you don't have watercress and you want to make this dish, you can substitute arugula or kale for it. So this is a good way to make your, make your meals more interesting. So he's going to bring the pan over. Can we still see inside of it okay? All right. We're going to stir in the watercress, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Look at that. Look how easy this is. Guys, this was so easy. It took less than 15 minutes. How long did it take us to prepare this? About 15 minutes to prep, about 10 minutes to cook. Wouldn't this be a great Valentine's meal to put together and have a glass of wine with? Oh my goodness.
Looks good to me.
Rick is ready. You know, he's always ready to sample. Aren't you, babe? Yeah. We kind of have difficulties when we cook because I'm left-handed and he's right-handed. We like our hands on opposite. How's that? Is that enough on there for you?
That'd be good.
I put a little knife there in case you wanted to cut it. Look at how delicious this looks, guys. And it was so easy. Of course, Rick did all the cooking. That was the best part.
I can cook the easy stuff.
He can cook the easy stuff, and then he leaves me for the others. Okay. Let's try this.
Okay. Drum roll.
Drum roll. Get some of the greens. I think it needs more greens. Too hot? I want to know about the flavor of the watercress.
Good.
Very good. It's very hot, so he can't speak, but he says it's very good. So personally, if I show you the inside of the pan here, I think I would add more greens to it. Or if you want to add your kale and your arugula with it, both which grow on the tower garden, you could have like a super food packed punch with nutrition stir fry.
I think it said that you could add the stems, but use the shorter stems because the bigger ones get
Of the watercress?
the watercress.
Okay, so
yeah.
you can do the stems also on the watercress. So that means you're really making use of the whole plant that way. Look at how good this is.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a little too hot for me to taste. I'm gonna hand this to you so I don't burn myself because I'm,
Move it.
yes, please.
Put a little sauce on
He
it.
wants more sauce on his before he takes away. That means he's gonna eat more. And he has to go to lunch, so he's filling himself up before he goes to lunch. So I would like to know if you guys have ever eaten watercress, because I am very thrilled that we made this meal. I have been waiting and waiting to do watercress. We have not figured out what we're going to cook next week because I want to go down and look at our tower. I want to see what's ready to cook. And so next week will be a surprise. If you have any ideas, let me know, because we love ideas and trying to make something out of things that are on our tower. We have so many vegetables growing, and I look forward to next week. Any questions about our tower garden, let us know. We've been growing on 2 of them since October. I know I missed you guys for a few weeks in there, but we're back to every other week again. And you can just see how much we grow on our towers by the plethora of vegetables. And we have 2 of those towers growing. So we really take good care of our health here by eating a better nutritional diet. You know, it's about putting the good nutrition in, guys, because when you feel better on the inside, it comes out on the outside. And that's what it's all about. And then we do our cooking show to help you learn how to cook different ideas for what you grow on the tower, because don't be afraid to grow anything. So watercress was never in my radar. I never knew about it, but now I do, and it's now being added to our diets. So until next week, you guys have a great week. Take good care of yourselves, and we'll come up with just a nutritional packed menu for next week. And until then, bye.
Bye.
Okay, I'm going to taste it.
Yeah. I think it needs 2 peppers too.
Mm-hmm.
2 peppers.
More pepper and more greens.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a good recipe.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Mm-mm-mm.
And the cashews are good.
Needs a nutty flavor.
Mhm.
Okay.